Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a full face of Sigma Beauty. I have never done this before on my channel. I've accumulated a ton of their products, so I thought we would sit and do a full face. They do have the anniversary sale going on right now, which is 40% off the website. There's a few exceptions. Disney is not included, collabs are not included, but majority of products on their website are 40% off right now, which is a great deal. This video is not sponsored, by the way. I do have an affiliate code with them, but this video is not sponsored. I do have something exciting though. We're gonna do a giveaway in this video. They recently launched the new soft coverage brush collection, and somehow I got 2 of them in the mail. I don't know, I didn't even know I was getting these at all in PR, so I was really excited, but somehow I got 2. So one of you can win the new Sigma Soft Brush Collection. There are 5 brushes in here. I used them today on my face. These are not included in the 40% off sale because they are a new launch, but you can win a box of the new brushes. And just stay tuned till the end of the video and I will tell you how you can enter to win, and I will send these to one of you. If you're new here, my name is Blair. I do all kinds of beauty content here on YouTube. I hope you'll stick around, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get into the makeup. All right, I'm just applying a little bit of a lip mask. This is their Hydra Melt lip mask. Really like this. It's a good prep for your lips before makeup. And okay, Sigma does not have a foundation or a concealer yet. I'm assuming they will maybe at some point, but they do not have that right now. So we're gonna apply foundation and we're gonna use one of the new brushes. So there are 5 brushes in the soft coverage brush collection. So there is a soft angled concealer brush, a soft coverage brush, soft angled cheek brush, soft sculpt brush, and a precision powder brush. We're going to use the F48 soft coverage for foundation, which looks like this. So it's pretty dense and it's just slightly angled. Looks like this. And something I really like about these, that I haven't used it yet obviously, but I like that the handle is shorter on this. I feel like this is shorter than Sigma's other brushes. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, yeah. So this is my Sigma F03, which I love. This is the new one. So the handles are shorter, which I personally really like. All right, for foundation, we are gonna use one that I have fallen in love with recently. If you've seen my videos, you've seen me use this. We're going to use the Prada foundation, and this is actually a different shade. I loved this so much that on the last day of the Sephora sale, I did what I always do. I place one last order. I swear I'm not going to do it every time, and then I do it every time. So I did that, and I ordered a darker shade of this since I've been self-tanning a lot recently. As you can see, my hand is a lot darker than my face. So I wanted to have a darker color as well. And I didn't want to go too dark, but I definitely wanted to have a darker option for when I'm not my more fair skin tone. So this is shade MN45. And we're going to use this new F84 brush to tap this in. So yeah, that's why it's going to look darker than my face skin, because it is. But I did that on purpose because I love this foundation so much. Ooh, I like this. I like this brush a lot. Yeah, I love this handle. It's so like small and kind of compact feeling. I don't know, it kind of feels like a travel size brush. Yeah, I kind of struggled online figuring out which color to get for a deeper shade. So my lighter shade is LN15, and that works really well for me if I don't have any color. and I'm just my normal skin tone, but it's definitely light when I do not. So I'm getting what's left on the back of my hand and just tapping this on. Loving this brush so far. It's dense, but it's not like too dense. You can still kind of buff with it, or you can really press the foundation in with it, which that's how I apply foundation most of the time. The next product, this is something I've had for a very long time. This is probably one of the first Sigma products I ever bought makeup wise, and it's this, the color corrector. This is the Spectrum Color Correcting Duo in light medium. So you can see you get a darker shade, that's the one I've hit major pan on, and then this lighter one right here. And I purchased this myself a long time ago, and then a while ago they sent me a backup of this, which is very nice because I'm definitely going to run out of this because I've already hit pan, like big time pan. So I am going to actually use a flat brush to apply this under my eyes, and then I'm going to blend it with their new brush. The only reason why I'm applying it with a flat brush is because mine has such little product left. I have to kind of get it from the outer edges, and it's easier to do that with like a smaller flat brush. So this one is from BK Beauty. It's the A505, and I'm taking the darker side, and I'm basically just gonna place this corrector where I want it. I use the darker side the most because it works a little bit better for correcting my darkness. The lighter side is okay. It's just a little bit too brightening on its own. I like to just kind of save that for this inner corner, or sometimes I'll go over the top of this shade with the dark or with the lighter shade. But I use the darker one the most, which is why I've definitely hit pan on it. Okay. And then this is their new brush. This is the F72, so it's a little angled concealer brush. It looks like the foundation brush, just a smaller version of it. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, this handle is longer. So I guess maybe just the foundation brush in this collection is shorter. But anyways, I am gonna just blend this out a little bit with this brush. And then I'll use this for concealer under my eyes too in a minute. And this color corrector is great. This is a good everyday lighter makeup color corrector. This is not the most full coverage corrector. So if you're looking for full coverage in terms of a correcting product, this is not full coverage. It's very thin, very creamy and hydrating, and it almost has just like, I hesitate to use the word radiance, but it has just like a very creamy, hydrating cream texture. It's not a dry cream by any means. So I'm actually going to go into the other side, so this lighter side here, and I'm going to tap just a little bit of that right in this inner corner. So you can see the difference that this stuff makes. I have a lot of blue and purple under my eyes, and this is a great product. I think it comes in 3 different shades. This is the lightest one. If you are familiar with the Smashbox Becca color correctors, I forget the exact name right now, but if you're familiar with that formula, this is very similar to that, but I think even thinner and a little bit more hydrating than that one. But the consistency reminds me of that one, if you're familiar with that. And so this brush is dense, but it's not so dense that like you can't move the bristles. It's not like that dense, but it still has some density to it where you can press product in, but it's just not the most dense brush for under your eyes. So if you're looking for something like right in the middle that will blend, give you coverage, but you can also blend out slightly with it, you would probably like this brush. I typically use, and maybe I'll use it in a minute so I can show you, the Sigma F03 if you watch my videos a lot. I love this brush for concealer. In fact, I have like, I think I have four of these. Here's 3 right here. I think I have a 4th one somewhere. I love that one, but it's a very different brush from this. So this is obviously much more dense. The bristles are much shorter. So you have a little bit of that movement with the bristles, but you don't have as much as this, obviously. This is meant for highlighter, so this is not meant for concealer. I just personally like it for that. So you can see how that corrector's been on for like 5-ish minutes now, and you can see it has a really nice like hydrated finish to it, but it's nothing crazy. That's what I like about it. So if you're looking for something lightweight, hydrating, good for every day, and you want 2 different color options, I love that product. It's a good one. Sigma does not make a concealer, like I said earlier, so we are gonna use my favorite, which is Natasha Denona. And I actually got, this is a deeper shade than what I normally wear. This is in 9. So I'm gonna add it on my face to add a little bit more coverage, and then I'm gonna go with RN3 under my eyes, which is lighter and it's a little bit more of a rosy tone. All right, so I am gonna use the oh gosh, I'm gonna have to remember the numbers now. F48 soft coverage brush to tap in where I want more coverage. I really like this brush so far, this foundation brush. It's like the concealer brush, it's dense enough, but it's not too dense. So you can blend with it like this, but you can also really stipple and get more coverage with it, which I love, especially in a foundation brush. Okay, I'm gonna switch to the F72 for under my eyes. Actually, I'll use one under one eye and I'll use the F03 that I was talking about on the other eye. We'll use the newer brush, so the F72 on this eye. Okay, so yeah, that blended beautifully under my eyes, but I will show you the F03 on this side. So this brush, because it has longer bristles, it's much fluffier, it really spreads the product out. So you can kind of fan it out and blend it into the foundation. Whereas with something like this, you get more, the product kind of stays where you place it a bit more with this because it's more dense, where you can spread it a little bit more with something like this. So it just kind of depends. It's really just personal preference, honestly. All right, let's move into powder. I do have the Sigma Soft Focus Setting Powder. This is new to me. They sent me this. I have never tried this product before. I have the shade Vanilla Bean, which I believe is the lightest shade. I think there are 4 shades. So it looks like this. It just has a little like sifter thing. And I think this is just supposed to be like I don't think it's translucent, but it doesn't look super tinted. So we'll see. And there is a new brush in this collection. This is the F08. And they're saying that this is a precision powder brush for the T-zone and the under eye area. So it looks like this. It's just a little angled brush that fits like right here. So I guess we will use this for the T-zone. It's a little bit small for the rest of my face, but we'll go ahead and use it for the T-zone. So just kind of swirled the powder in the cap and then got it on the brush. Ooh, that's nice. One thing that's kind of very tough about this is there's no way to like close the sifter. So a lot of the powder gets on there, gets in the cap. So it's very easy to get too much. Wish there was like one of those little things that closes off the sifter thing. And just press this under my eyes and down the side of my nose here, which is where I usually like to focus powder here because I have the most noticeable pores in that area. And then, okay, I'm gonna get a little bit more. But yeah, this is making a mess. All right, so I'm gonna take a little bit of powder here and here. Honestly, you could use this brush for a lot of things actually, because it's the angled part of it. You could really do a lot of stuff with this. You could do bronzer, cream blush, probably, I don't know if I'd use it for powder bronzer or blush, but you could definitely use it for cream products, even like a cream highlight. I'm just kind of tapping what's left on my cheek right here because I am going to use powder bronzer and blush. That powder looks really, really smooth on my skin. It doesn't look heavy at all, but it definitely did kind of blur this area here. I just wish the packaging was a little bit better because that's kind of hard to deal with. I'm going to take a little bit more of the powder and I'm going to switch brushes. This is the N14 from BK Beauty and Nikki LaRose. And I'm just going to add a little bit more under my eyes to set. Okay, let's move on to bronzer. We're going to use the Sigma powder bronzer. I have the shade Light. I got this a while ago. They sent me this a little while ago, months ago actually. And I really like this bronzer actually. We're going to use another one of the new brushes. This is the F11. So it's like, what do they say about this? Enhance the apples of the cheeks with the side of the brush or softly blend and define with the tapered end. I think I did have the shade Medium in this bronzer a while ago. I gave it to my mom though, because usually when I'm my normal skin tone, the shade Medium's a little bit dark, or it is dark for me, but right now I could probably get away with it, but I can still make light work. I do like this size for bronzer. I don't love a large powder bronzer brush. I don't know, I find those kind of hard to work with. So I like the size of this for powder bronzer for sure. I feel like Sigma powder products in general are very underrated. Like these bronzers, I don't hear anyone talk about these, or not, I don't hear anyone, but I feel like they definitely don't get the hype that they deserve, but it's a great, really great powder formula. Very smooth. It's a good one. All right, moving into blush. I just realized I have powder blush, but I also have cream blushes. I didn't really think about that. So I have two of the creams. This one I got a while ago. This is Corda Rosa, but they also sent me a new shade, or it's not new, but it's new to me. It's Nearly Wild. Looks like more of a wine kind of pomegranate color. So I'm trying to decide which one I want to use because I've used Corda Rosa before, but I have not used Nearly Wild. They're both so pretty though. So that's Corda Rosa and that is Nearly Wild. I think I'm gonna use Corda Rosa and we're gonna test over this powder. That might not be a good idea, but I'm gonna do it. I've not tried these blushes over powders before, I don't think, so we're just gonna test it out. But this is the other new brush, the soft angled cheek brush. So it's kind of the same density as the foundation brush, but this one is a little bit more angled. And I believe they say, yeah, this is to sculpt the cheeks with cream, blush, bronzer, highlighter, and more. So we're gonna use this with this cream blush. So I'm gonna kind of get some on there and then I'm gonna kind of tap it off a little bit on the palm of my hand. so that most of it is blended, I can just kind of tap this on. And we'll see what happens with the powders underneath. Hopefully it's okay. Love that color. It's a really pretty nudie pink. Sometimes if you do this in this way and you kind of blend your cream blush on the back of your hand before going in on your skin, you lower your risk of moving what's underneath. So that's why I'm doing it this way, because we've already used powder. All right, so doing that did not seem to disrupt the powders underneath. I tried to be really, really careful because sometimes that can happen if you are really aggressive applying a cream over a powder, because they're not usually intended to do that with, but I wanted to use them. And I also have two of the powder blushes. So I have, what is this? Berry Love. And that one I've used before. This one is new in Sunset Kiss. It's a really pretty warmer kind of pinky coral. I will swatch these two for you also. One is warmer and one is cooler. So that is Berry Love. Yeah, Berry Love is the top and Sunset Kiss is the bottom. All right, I am gonna apply a little bit of this newer color, new to me at least, in Sunset Kiss. I'm gonna use this brush. This is the large angled contour brush actually, so it's very wispy on the end. It's also angled. I don't think it's meant for blush, but I'm going to try it for blush. So I'm doing the same thing with this. I'm kind of tapping it off on the back of my hand. And just gonna tap it on. Oh, that's pretty. I like the idea of this for blush because it's so wispy, unless you're going for like a really intense amount of payoff. Something wispy like this, we'll apply it a little bit more sheerly. Yeah, I feel like Sigma powder blushes or powder products in general are definitely underrated. Okay, I do have a Sigma highlighter as well. This is the shade Twilight. It's a really pretty kind of a light pinky highlight, and I'm gonna apply it with the F03. This is meant to be a highlighter brush, so I'm gonna use it for that. It is great for highlighter as well. I just love it for concealer. Very pretty highlight, very blinding. Okay, let's move into brows. I don't have a Sigma brow powder. I think they might make one. Now I need to go look because I love a brow powder. I'm gonna use the one that I have because I don't have a Sigma one, but I do use this brush. Every time I use powder for my brows, I use the E75 from Sigma. It's this tiny little angled brush and it's perfect for brows. So I'm gonna use this to fill in my brows. This is the ABH brow powder in medium brown, and I'm using the darker side and just filling in wherever I have spaces that need some help. Yeah, I feel like Sigma actually might make a brow powder, and if they do, I need to order it because I've been all about brow powders lately. I'm using the lighter shade in this inner portion of my brow. All right, one product I do have is the Prime and Control Brow Wax. I got this from them a while ago. I don't use it much, to be honest. But basically you're just supposed to be able to press your brows in place, just like a regular brow wax, but it's in like a stick like this. I haven't been as into brow waxes lately. I've been much more into just like a standard brow gel. But since I have it, we'll use it. I'm gonna go through now with a spoolie and just make sure they're in place. I was probably actually supposed to do that brow wax before filling them in, but oh well. All right, moving into eyes. We're gonna start with these. I love this product. I've been using this for a long time. I think I tried this around the same time I tried the Sigma color corrector. So this is the eyeshadow base primer cream shadow. You can kind of use it for whatever you want. I got this one first a long time ago. This one I believe is the shade Ignite. Yeah, Ignite. And then more recently they sent me this shade Persuade. So Ignite is more of like a beigey color and Persuade is a little bit more of a rosy, kind of a, I don't know, like a taupier color, I guess. So that is Persuade and that is Ignite on the bottom. I think we'll use Ignite today, which is the more like ivory colored one. So these you can obviously just wear by themselves, or you can use them as a base for eyeshadow. I wear these as bases a lot, but they're also great just on their own if you want to like even out your eyelids maybe like that just did, and you don't want to apply any eyeshadow. You could just throw this on, kind of like concealer for your eyes, or you can layer shadow on top. But very easy, very quick. I love this product. And I'm using the E25 from Sigma. It's a really good one for any cream shadows. It's like very similar to a MAC 217 or the BK Beauty 206, I think is what it's called. The shape is very similar to those. For eyeshadow, I have a lot of Sigma palettes. I have 3 of their larger palettes, so I purchased all 3 of these myself. So I have these 3. I have Ambiance, Enchanted, and the Cinderella palette. The Disney stuff is excluded from the 40% off sale, but everything else should be included in terms of the eyeshadows. So I'm trying to decide. I have those 3. A while ago they sent me this one. This is one of the 9 pans. It's a neutral, warmer palette. This one is called Spicy. But then I recently got this and I kind of want to use this because this is new. And they sent me this little quad. How cute is this? It's a little tiny 4-pan palette. It's called Tiramisu. So it's kind of a cooler, neutral leaning palette. I'll swatch this for you and insert it here, but I kind of want to use this, I think. All right, let's go into this palette. I might also use a little bit of the bronzer on my eyes as well, but I'm gonna go into this shade right here, which is Java. It's like a cooler taupey brown, and I'm gonna use an E35 from Sigma to apply this. That is very pigmented. I did not use much of that color all, but a lot of pigment. All right, now I'm gonna go into the bronzer again. So this was the bronzer we used earlier. This is the shade Light. And I'm gonna add a little bit of this in the crease as well, just to kind of tie in the eyes to the rest of the face since we did use this bronzer. All right, now we're gonna use this really pretty shimmery gold right here. This one is called Treat, and I think I might just use my finger with this. Yeah, look at that color, so pretty. Oh yeah, I love that. Love that shade. Love it. Those are these kind of shades are my weakness. These like lighter, golden, like wet, shimmery shades I love. I'm gonna take my same brush again and just kind of blend around the edges a little. Then I'm going to go into the darker brown right here, which is called Dipped. And I don't think I've ever used this brush before, the E36 from Sigma. It's a blending brush, but it's a very, very skinny, wispy blending brush. I didn't get this in my most recent package, but I don't remember using this before. Tapping off the excess of that color. And I'm just gonna apply this on this outer corner. I like a brush this wispy for a darker shade like this because it doesn't apply too much, you know. All right, so I just kind of laid it where I want it to be. And then I'm gonna take my same larger brush that we used before. This is the E35 again, and just kind of blend around. I mean, this is such a good neutral quad if you're looking for one and you want just a very standard, classic neutral eye look. Here you go. Yeah, this is a very handy brush to have for the outer corner because it's so light. It feels like I am barely touching my eye at all. I'm just using like the very tip of the bristles to kind of lay it down. And then do the same thing with the blending brush. Then I'm going to take this last light shade. This is called Vanilla. It's just a metallic, kind of a cream off-white color. And I'm going to switch to a smaller brush. This is a 209 from BK Beauty. And for this, I am going to pop it right in this inner corner. And I'm leaving my eye open for this so that I don't have much lid space there. So if I keep my eye closed, it's kind of hard to see where the shade will fall, but if I leave it open, I can kind of drag it up and over that crease right there. So I get a little bit more of that light color. I'm going to go back to the crease color that we used, and I'm just going to take that 209 again from BK Beauty and put that on the lower lash line. All right, Sigma does not make eyeliner or mascara to my knowledge, but I might be wrong on that. I don't have them if they do. So I'm gonna do a little bit of liner in my waterline and some mascara quickly, and then I'll be back and we'll finish up with lips. All right, last for lips. Sigma does not have lip liners, so I'm gonna use one that I have here, but they do have lip creams and lip oils, so we're gonna apply one of those in a minute, but I'm gonna line my lips. This is Natasha Denona I Need a Nude lip liner in the shade 2.5 Liyan. Got lip liner on. Now I have two of the lip oils. So these are just traditional lip oils, but I kind of want to use this because I've not used this formula before. This is the lip cream in the shade Nude. This was one of the newer things that they sent to me. So it looks like this. It's in the same packaging as the lip oils. This one just has the gold top, and I believe these are more, pigmented than the lip oils. So that is the shade Nude or New Mod. It's kind of a mauve-y rose shade. And then I also have the lip oil in the shade All Heart, which I think is actually kind of similar. It's just a lot more sheer. Yeah. So that is the shade All Heart in the lip oil formula, and that is New Mod in the lip cream formula. And then I also have the Renew lip oil in Hush, which is basically clear. It doesn't really have much color. So let's go in with the lip cream. I don't know if I'm gonna love it with this lip liner now that I'm looking, but let's try it. Ooh, actually that's not bad. Okay, yeah, so it's kind of feels a little bit thicker than the lip oils, but not like crazy thick, and it just has a lot more pigment, obviously. Ooh, those two. It does feel good. Very hydrating. All right, that is the full face of Sigma Beauty for the most part. All the things that they do make for the most part we use today. I hope this was helpful. As I said in the beginning, their anniversary sale is going on right now. So if you want to win this set of these soft coverage brushes, all you have to do is leave a comment on this video and tell me what product you are loving right now, what makeup product, or it doesn't have to be makeup, it could be a brush, it could be whatever you want, what product you're loving right now. It could be skincare if you want, one product that is really impressing you right now, and then give me some way to contact you. So if you have Instagram, leave your Instagram handle. If you don't have Instagram, leave your email or some way that I can contact you to get your address so I can send this to you. That's all you have to do to enter the giveaway. It's very easy, and I'm excited for one of you to get these because I really enjoyed these brushes. I did want to quickly just kind of go over my top recommendations if you're wanting anything from the sale or you want to know what my top favorites from Sigma are. I wanted to go through those quickly. So one of the favorites for sure has to be the corrector. I've been using this for a long time, and I think for a lightweight cream formula, this is great. I love that you get two colors in here so you can kind of customize. It is not going to give you a full coverage look, but it gives good coverage, and it's perfect for every day in my opinion. I love mine. I highly recommend this product. So this is definitely something I would recommend if you're in the market for a new one. I also have to say, let me grab it here. I am very impressed with the powder. Very impressed with how it looks on my skin. I mean, my skin looks like I used powder, like I set my face, but it doesn't look heavy. There's a fine line with loose powders. You want them to mattify, set your makeup, blur the skin, but you don't want them to look heavy. You don't want them to look detectable, and this one does not look detectable on my skin. I really, really like the way this looks. I even like it under my eyes. As of right now, I have not used that powder before, so take it with a grain of salt. But right now, it looks nice under my eyes, and that is saying something because I'm very picky with powders, especially under the eyes. So I actually would recommend this. The one thing, like I said earlier, I don't love this packaging because it does make a mess. That's the only thing. So you have to be kind of careful with it, but I'm very impressed with the powder. I would recommend. I have to say, this little quad, I mean, I've used Sigma eyeshadows for years. I started with the larger palettes, then they'd sent me the two smaller palettes, but I have to say this little quad, if you're looking for a perfect neutral, leaning, cooler toned 4 quad palette, this is great. The formula is great. Sigma matte shadows are very easy to work with. I had no issues with any of these shades, and this is just such a perfect neutral little palette. You could do a one and done with this like really pretty gold shimmer, or even a matte one and done with this here, or you can amp it up like we did today and do a little bit more of a glam, smokier look. I love this. The quality is great. It's tiny. It's great to take with you if you're traveling somewhere. Highly recommend, but honestly, I like all of the Sigma eyeshadow palettes that I've tried. I like their formula in general, so any of the eyeshadows that work for you or you like the color story, I would recommend. But I did really enjoy this little tiramisu quad today. And then the other thing I did want to say is I love these eyeshadow primers. I kind of mentioned these earlier, but I use this product all the time. If I'm wearing eyeshadow, even if I'm not wearing it, I'll use these on its own, and it's just a really good way if you're like me and you have a lot of discoloration on your eyes always. These just help to even them out, and you can prime with them or just wear them alone. I think they're great. Highly recommend. And then, also the bronzer. I really like the Sigma. I like the Sigma powders in general, but particularly the matte bronzers. If you're looking for just a very good quality, smooth, silky matte bronzer, I really like the Sigma formula. I think they're great. I also I talk about this all the time, but I'll mention it one more time. The F03, holy grail for me. I used it on one of my eyes for concealer today, and then I used it for highlighter, but this is a great brush if you are in the market for a fluffier concealer brush. I love this. I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. I will have everything linked for you. They are affiliated links that support me and this channel, so I do make a commission if you use them. It really does help my channel when you use my links or anyone's links. We all really do appreciate it. So thank you so much if you do choose to do that. And everything will be linked for you below. If you're new, I hope you'll subscribe and follow me over on Instagram at simply.blair and TikTok simply.blair1. And I will see you next time for another video. Remember, simply be you. Bye.